Well, everybody, welcome back to the live stream of JJ's PC Build. You know it is JJ with you once again. We're just gonna jump right into it, and I'm gonna get you all you guys' opinions. That's the reason why we're having this video today, is because of the simple fact that I'm gonna go into the comments that was made on a video about UserBenchmark. Okay, now I'm going to explain this. I'm not defending any one of them, number one. Number two, I only put that out there to show people to how you can, put what you have in your system right there and then see what the alternative is to upgrading your system. It had nothing to do with the benchmarking whatsoever with the site or the who got the biggest score or who's fighting with AMD or anything else. Okay, but I thought it would be interesting in bringing this up is because of the comments that I get on the video for when it comes to making it for UserBenchmark. Now, when it says benchmarking, it's just basically seeing what you got now and what you can upgrade to. That's the only time I use UserBenchmark. I don't use it for anything else. And more investigating that I did on UserBenchmark, I just feel that I had to clarify the reason why I mentioned it in a video to you all. It was just a matter of seeing what kind of system you had and putting all your parts in there and then seeing what the alternative was to see what you can do if you want to upgrade on the same platform. Okay, same platform. I'm on an AM4 platform. I wanted to see what the next CPU processor would go up to on the same motherboard that I had. That's the whole purpose I did it, is to show everybody that you can, you can go to any place. You can go to any place, anytime to find out how, to upgrade from point A to point B. You could do it on PC Part Picker. You can do it on many places to see how to upgrade what you have on hand with minimal cost. Okay, so I know my next upgrade from the 5700X will be the 5800X 3D if I want to pay the price. But from what I'm seeing right now, it kind of put me towards the AM5 series, but I think I'm going to wait until the 9000 series GPUs, which they're going to be calling them Ryzen AI. Ryzen AI 9. The 9000 series. So it's going to be changing the name when it comes to the 9000 series. I wanted to bring that up to you guys really quick, but I am going to go to the comments that was made on this video that I made earlier, which was yesterday. So let's go to the action screen and I'll show you what I got cooking. Okay. I was reading this comment. UserBenchmark, the bad joke of benchmark sites. They exist solely to hate on AMD. I strongly suggest running a good anti-malware program before, during, and after doing anything with their software, especially if you have any AMD parts. Now, my comment is I run AMD and NVIDIA, so I had no issues with the software. Which you don't need the software anyway because it's online. You could do the benchmark online. No software required. So I understand about that. And yeah, I do have their program, but it does not install. You can run their program without it installing onto your PC, which I've already ran through my PC to see if user benchmark was anywhere, and the only thing it came up to is what I downloaded. That's the only thing that I seen for user benchmark, so it's not in my system at all. But you can do the online thing, you know. I mean, but this seems like it's a controversy of the creator of user benchmark talking down to people about AMD, and everybody's saying that this guy is an AMD shill and everything else. I understand that. So, but I have no viruses in my system from user benchmark. I just wanted to clarify that. Now I get a little comment here that says user benchmark and laughs. Like I said, it's good to hear everybody's opinion. I'm giving mine too. My opinion is just as valued. Okay, if you have Namek on take it off the taskmaster, if you have USB plug-in, take it out. And like I stated, I only got my keyboard, mouse, and camera. But I'm going to tell you what it is, and I want you all to understand that Namek it's an enhancement for ASUS. It's an sound enhancement for ASUS. That's all it is. So I had it disabled in Windows 10, but when Microsoft forcibly pushed me up to Windows 11, it seems it re-enabled it again. So I went into my services and turned off the service. So I have already taken care of that, and thank you for giving me that notification. Okay, this one here says user benchmark is a joke. And I said I tend to agree with it. You know, I just want to know what people are thinking. I want to know what everybody's thinking on this, is for the simple fact, you know, there's much more to this story. I'm getting little bits and pieces of this story. That's the reason why I'm making this live video today, for you all to get into the chat and tell me what's on your mind about this. I want to clear the air, like I said in the description. I want to clear the air so that way y'all understand user benchmark is not the only benchmarking tool I use to benchmark PCs. I use, God knows, there's 13 to 14 other benchmarking tools I use to benchmark a PC, and I just don't do it within a 30-minute time period. I benchmark PCs over months to 6 months to, I've been benchmarking my own PC for close to over a year. But there's OCCT, you got Combustor, you got Prime 95, you got Geekbench, you know, you got many different things out there to benchmark your PC. You got Heaven Benchmark, you got Superposition, you got many things. I got all those programs already on my PC. Like Cinebench 24, Cinebench R23, Cinebench R20, you know, and so on. User Benchmark is not the only benchmarking tool I use to benchmark a PC. I run it through a gazillion whatever's on the net and run it through and see how it benchmarks and compare it against other people's systems. So yes, you could use CPU Z, you could use GPU Z, you can use there's many programs out there. There's so many that people can't keep up with them now these days. So I'm just bringing this point home and clear so that way y'all understand. I just don't use one program. I use multiple programs. UserBenchmark, I only use it to see what would be the next step up on a PC. I don't use it to benchmark for how many points I get. You know, that doesn't tell me anything about my gaming. Okay, when I play my games, that's what tells me about my gaming. And when I benchmark my games, that's what tells me about my gaming. If it's going to be good or bad, or if the screen looks good or the screen looks bad or whatever. You know, there's many ways to benchmark. Okay, if you want to be assured your system's going to run correct, then take and go on Steam and run your game that you always run, and then start making your peaks and tweaks. Just start tweaking your computer to make it run efficiently 100%. I balanced my system over running several amounts of games. That's one. And two, I ran about 13 or 14 different benchmarks to see where the numbers lie and how I balanced my system. So guess what? If I'm getting between 60 and 200 FPS, that's it. That's all I need to run my games. End of story. But if you're doing it to be a power user and you want to get that power hungriness and try to push it for everything it's got, your system's going to wear out faster than mine, because mine is just going to run on a continuous basis, running at a certain amount of power. Yours is going to be running wild to where you're getting blue screens and crashes and everything else because you're trying to suck the life out of your CPU and your GPU. I mean, let's get to the honesty part of this. If you don't know how to benchmark and run your PC, and you're saying, oh, I'm not getting the kind of numbers you're getting, you know, well then obviously you're not setting yourself up for success when it comes to your PC. Obviously you're running to different sites, sitting there bragging that, oh, it's not this and not this and not this. Well, that's your fault. It's not my fault. All I'm doing is telling you my experience. That's what I'm giving you, my experience, what I'm doing with these programs. There's no bias, no malice, no nothing. I'm impartial to every program that's out there. And like I said, and I'm going to say it again, and hear me very carefully, if it runs good, I'm going to tell you. If it runs bad, I'm going to tell you. Either way, I'm going to tell you. And I'm not going to lie about it. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I've wasted the last 2 years of my time on YouTube. I don't get paid for this. This is my time. I put my efforts into this. I don't get paid for this. I don't ask people for money. I have not yet. I'm not even monetized. I got over 400 loyal subscribers. Hopefully we'll get to 500. And even when we get there, you know, it's a partial monetization, but you think I'm getting paid? No. I don't get paid until I get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So, you know, like I said, if you're going to hate on my channel, do it for a reason. But if you ain't got a reason, don't hate on my channel. I'm putting my time, my effort, and everything else to put these videos out for you. Okay, so I want to clarify that very carefully. UserBenchmark does not pay me. I did this on my own free will. Because I wanted to show everybody that, yeah, the program's basically, I wanted to show everybody taking it for it to analyze your system and take it right to the website for it to show you exactly what you got in your system. Now, with Windows 10, it runs beautifully. I didn't have a problem with it. But Windows 11, I had a problem because it did not show my graphics card. I had to manually input my graphics card for it to show it. That's where I had the problem with that. But I wasn't doing it to test to see how fast my PC is. I can do that on games. Testing it and going on games and seeing how fast it runs. I don't need to go to that benchmarking site. I only used it to see what actually kind of will be my next upgrade. If I decide to stay on AM4, if I decide to go on to AM5. I wanted to see between the 5700X and the 5900X what the difference was. It told me the difference. There's only 5% difference. Okay, this is information I needed, and when I go around to look for the same information from other sites, other people make the same claims. So at least I know what the difference between an 8-core 16-thread processor does and between a 12-core 24-thread processor does. What the advantage and disadvantage is. So at least I'm getting this information and I'm trying to share it with you all. But obviously it doesn't seem like that's really working out. Okay. Now this next one says WTF, user benchmark question mark. This is a freaking joke. If you don't know that, I don't trust your builds or content. Look, like I told you, I only use it for certain things. I don't use it for anything else. I don't go and try to see if I can get the biggest points on the scoreboard. I'm not running Intel. I'm running AMD. So I just want to clarify that. Look, y'all's opinions are well valued. This is the reason why I'm bringing this up, is because there's a simple fact that everybody has a hatred for user benchmark. Is because of what the creator have said about AMD. I understand that and I respect that. I'm not going against that. You all got the answer on that, so I respect that. Okay, I really do. But the thing is this, he might have said that and everybody's telling me that he's changing the algorithms to benefit Intel over AMD and stuff like that. Look, I was doing my research on this. After you guys made this comment, I said, okay, it's time to do a live video and do my research. So that's what I've been doing, my research on user benchmark. Is it something that I'm going to recommend to somebody? That's up to them. I'm not going to recommend any site to anybody. You do not see me putting it in the description to their site of any software benchmark. Of any. All I can do is tell you where the site is, and that's up to you if you want to go there. I'm not telling anybody to go there or not go there. I'm just giving my experience of me going there. So it has nothing to do with this little battle that's going on with everybody, with the creator and, him bad mouthing AMD. I run AMD. Like I told you, I don't care. I got right here. Let's kind of blow it up a little bit bigger so you see this. Okay, now you see Ryzen, AMD, NVIDIA, Asus. These are the companies that I'm using. I use Corsair. I use Crucial. Thermaltake. Like I said. Even though that Asus is getting hatred, and you have to understand that Asus is getting hatred because of the RMA thing. Okay, everybody has something to say about something, but they're not looking at the real facts, the real story. They're looking at the problems that are being created, and they're looking for people to solve their problems, their real world problems. And when it comes to these companies, you really can't sort that out. It's impossible. I even know that from working in hospitality for 36 years. So it's impossible to sort people's problems out. But going back to this, and this one dude comments, seems the video channel owner shadow banned me for my comments about UserBenchmark. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I have never shadow banned anybody from leaving their comments. If you're going to use profanity, that's where you might get shadow banned off my channel. That's the only thing, because of children that are on the internet. Use discretion is what I'm asking everybody that leaves a comment. Use discretion because of children. If you're going to leave a fact about certain hardware and software and stuff like that, it's respected. If you want to leave your comment, it's respected. But when you use profanity, that's where I draw the line. And that's what I'm going to tell you right now. That's where I draw the line. Sometimes I slip with the tongue. I know, I admit it. Okay, I shouldn't, but I'm trying hard to keep it professional. And I mean very professional. So, looking upon this, says, seems the video channel owner shadow banned me for my comments about UserBenchmark. So I'll post here and agree with you. He's likely paid off shill by UserBenchmark. Definite don't trust this channel. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. UserBenchmark don't pay me nothing. And I want you to hear this very carefully. They don't pay me for nothing. I have never yet took a dime from any one of these companies ever since I started my channel. I paid for everything out of my pocket, or I did work for it to get it. So let me bring this very carefully to you before you decide to make a comment like that. I am going to defend myself over that. So when you bring it to my channel, you better bring it coming correct. Because if you don't bring it correct, then you can stay off of my channel and go to somebody else's. End of story. Machine, now you understand why I do what I do. I keep it honest and direct. So everybody understands that, I'm not pulling any punches with anybody. If their product sucks, I'm going to tell you about it. If the product is true, I'm going to tell you about it. Now, why I recommend something that's an online source to maybe help you out understand, how to pick the right components, but that's all I use it for. I'm not going to let this stuff get to me, brother. Okay, understand this. I'm not going to let this stuff get to me. All right? But I'm going to bring it as honest I can. I've told everybody ever since I first started my channel. All the things that I do are honest. I don't pull any punches with any company at any time. I don't ask any of these companies for money. Would be nice if they did sponsor the channel. Maybe we can get more product here that would help out the community even more. But I'm doing it at my pay scale because I basically got to do it on my own money. I don't have a Patreon for everybody to run to, say, well, here you go, Jay. I don't have that. I don't have an online store for everybody to go do that. I don't have any marketing or anything else behind me. This is all me. My time I spent for the last almost 2 years doing this, giving the information to everybody without any malice or impartiality. I've been impartial to every one of these companies. And I've always said, if the company does me wrong with the product, I will tell you. But if they done everybody else wrong with the product, that's on them. That's not on my channel. Until they do me wrong, I'm not going to say that they did everybody else wrong or this or that. I'm not going to go and cry about it. I mean, hell. Well, Machine, I do agree with that. I do agree with that sometimes. But, it's just coming down to the point to when people make comments, they need to come direct and clear with them. I mean, if you're going to say that my channel is that bad, and I'm sitting there making a video about UserBenchmark, but you didn't watch the video long enough for you to understand why I made the video, then that's your fault. That is your fault. Because you didn't watch my previous videos about UserBenchmark. I've made maybe 2 or 3 videos about UserBenchmark. But now, all of a sudden, this video is generating a buzz when my other videos, nobody says nothing about them. Come on. You need to come real with this. I mean, seriously. You got to come real with this. You had no idea what the purpose of me doing this in the first place. Then, let's move on in the comments. And like I said, I'm sorry you feel that way. But like I said, I do more than one individual test, which I do. I do at least 16 different multiple tests with multiple programs. So if you're going to bring yourself correct, then you need to watch the rest of my videos to understand you can come correct with this. Because I use more than just testing with UserBenchmark. If you watched many of my other videos, which I have, well over 600 plus videos, but you only watched one to make that decision? I mean, come correct. Then why on earth showcase it? It is not useful and very misleading in the ratings and metrics. Did I use it for any ratings or metrics? This is the point. I used it for the simple fact I wanted to see, one, going from Windows 10 and being forced to Windows 11 by Microsoft, what it's running now. And when it was running on Windows 10, when I went to the site, did the testing and went to the site, it registered everything in my PC. But with Windows 11, it seems to have left out the graphics card. Who knows why? Maybe it's something on Microsoft Windows. Maybe it didn't register something off of Microsoft Windows. So I can't say it's their fault. I can't say it's Microsoft's fault because I don't know the answer to that. I don't know which one it was the fault of. Why it didn't show up on their website as me having a graphics card in my PC. I have no idea why. So that's what I've been kind of looking into. Maybe it's something that's being blocked by Microsoft in their new Windows 11. I mean, these are things that you have to investigate before you even say anything to the world. Because you got to bring your stuff correct. Okay? I'm not just testing UserBenchmark. I'm testing all my benchmarking tools. Because for the simple fact, I know what they do on Windows 10. I'm seeing what it does on Windows 11. So, to each is their own. Like I said, I'm not showcasing anybody's software. I'm just saying it's out there. It's up to the consumer that wants to go there or not. That's up to them. You don't see on my description page me putting any links whatsoever to any one of these benchmarking places. Anybody can take and type in UserBenchmark and go there. Why do I need to put it there? That's showcasing it. Did you click on anything that's in my description that could be like clickbait? Hell no. Did I say I was getting paid from them? No. Did they ask me to do this? Did they sponsor me? No. So if you're going to come correct, then make sure you get the full answers before you decide to come and put a post on a video that you know nothing about. I think it did not recognize your GPU is because you did not play the game in the benchmark. Not for sure. Well, could have. But that's come now, machine. There's another catch to this. So we're going to keep going. WTF, frickin' joke, do not trust, or, and the latest post I got was, when why on earth showcase it's not useful, misleading, misreading metrics. Well, you keep repeating yourself like you're a bot. Okay, I understand this. You're repeating yourself like a bot. And like I said, I clarified it once again. So, but I went to Tom's Hardware. Understand this. Controversial benchmarking website goes behind a partial paywall. That answers the question. UserBenchmark now requires a $10 monthly subscription. And somebody puts, that's a shame. This is the reason why people got pissed off, because it was freeware all this time up till now. And now that they're charging a monthly subscription, now everybody wants to come out of the woodwork and say it's BS. Guarantee that's where this is starting from. And then when somebody got into their like Reddit or whatever, and they just started hammering on the guy because he wants to, get paid for his time, because time is money. And you can't expect everybody to do this for free forever. It's just like MSI Afterburner. The guy's over in Russia. He gets paid by MSI to do that program. Who pays this dude to do the program? Come on. It's kind of obvious. And when, that's what, I bet you that's what sparked all this, was somebody got in his box and said, well, you're favoriting Intel over AMD, and the guy got pissed off and tired of it, of all these negative comments. And then he just blurted it out there. Now where there's cause, there's effects. Okay? He probably never would have got into doing that, but I'm not sure. Look, that's the reason why we're having this debate right here live. Everybody was invited to come here. Everybody was invited to come here. Okay? But it seems that since everybody was invited to come here, nobody wants to show up to defend their words. I got 3 concurrent viewers right now and 6 views. I'll even show you all. Look. 3 concurrent viewers right here. Chat rate 0. 6 views. Right here. So, like I said, oh my God. Let's go and let's look on this and see what else is being said. UserBenchmark's testing software still has a free version, but with a catch. According to user reports, only a limited, unspecified number of users can test for free at any one time. And if no slots are open, then only subscribers to the $10 per year. Wow, $10 per year. Let's go back upwards. Did this not say $10 monthly? Okay, watch this. $10 monthly subscription. Let's come down here. $10 a year pro plan. Don't you think $10 is different from $120 a year? Which is it? This right here, this information right here, means that somebody has a beef. I don't have a beef. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't have a beef with any one of everybody on here. I post videos on the information that I create, or give opinions on the videos that have been created, and with the testing and everything else, if I can't get the hardware. So this is my opinion that I'm going to give. And so far, for what I'm seeing, $10 a monthly subscription is different from $120 a year compared to $10 per year pro plan. What is it? Okay, this right here, this just tells me that something's not right. Okay, come correct when you put your information out there. So, UserBenchmark is notorious for denouncing AMD CPUs. Oh, now, let's see. Let's do this. Let's go to UserBenchmark. Okay, now, home UserBenchmark. Okay, now I'm just going to look at all these gaming systems that are just within a minute ago that are over here. Let's see, Z690, that's Intel. 320, that's Intel. Aurora Ryzen Edition, that's AMD. Tough Gaming System B650 Plus, that's AMD. G3 3500, that might be Intel. So right here, the B650 Plus Wi-Fi, that's AMD. So what, I'm not getting what everybody's talking about. Okay, he gives his opinions on the new hardware that's out there, and people are entitled to their opinion, and I'm not defending them. Understand that I am not defending them whatsoever. I'm clarifying what the hell everybody's talking about. Okay, within minutes of first pre-released 7000 series GPU series UserBenchmark results, AMD's marketers broadcast a 20% win over the 12,900K, the 12th gen. And thousands of anonymous Twitters and Reddit and forum YouTube accounts. Buying a new AMD product is buying used cars. Okay, well, that's his opinion. It takes time to experience and get what he's saying. It takes time, experience, and taste for sales hype. They all do that. Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, they all hype up their new products. We know that. So it's difficult for consumers to make rational choices while AMD completely dominates. completely dominates sponsored news and social media channels. Well, I want you all to think about this. The reason why AMD dominates it, it's just that's the Q&A right there. Okay. Let me blow up my face so you guys can see it again. AMD dominates. It's said plain English. Dominates sponsored news and media channels. Now, if they're that good, then obviously that's what its focus is on, being that good. Okay. So there is a little bit of credit given to AMD, but also too, there's a little bit of credit given to Intel as well. There's credit on both sides. I'm not just going to base my observation and research on just one quote from one person. I'm going to base it on hundreds to thousands of quotes from different various people that got different opinions and everything else, and then compile everything into what I think is the best for, my channel. I compile it all into the best what I think for my channel. So you all can see this. Okay, but coming down to the fact of what I was doing with UserBenchmark, I'm going to show you really quick. Let's go back to the action screen. Okay, so what I did was I looked at CPUs. Okay, now looking at all the CPUs and everything else, I can see where everybody's upset over the fact of they see more Intel than they do see an AMD. But I mean, that comes to the fact of you can search for, like, let's say the 5700X, and it gives you the price point. And it's got the 5700X 3D, the 5700X. But it doesn't have the 5700G. That's integrated graphics. That's probably why it didn't come about. So you got 51 user rating at 51% and 59% at the 5700. So for $160, I got a better deal with the 5700X than I do with the 5700X 3D. So what's so bad about that? What is the bad about that? I mean, you can hit start a PC build, and this is what I was using it for. Okay, so I picked a baseline and I went the 5700X. Okay, that's just the CPU. Now the GPU, I could put in the 4070. Not the Super, not the TI, just the 4070. Okay, now I can put in my SSD, the solid state drive. I'm going to put Crucial in. And I can put the P2. So, let's see. Crucial P2, 1 terabyte. That's it. And then I can go to my HDD and I can put in what was it, Seagate? I think it is. No. I'm not going to worry about it. I forgot what it was. I have to look it up again. But I'm sure they'll put it up there sooner or later. RAM. Let's see. Let's go to Corsair. LPX 3200, CL16. That's RGB Pro. Okay, let's see. Corsair LPX 3200, CL16. Knowing I got 64 gigs, I'll just put that one right there. So this tells me, okay, motherboard. Okay, now I want to put in Asus B550-A. It doesn't give a price about the motherboard. Yeah, I already know the motherboard's at 160 bucks. Okay, so I can add 160 bucks to the score. So that makes that up to $1,100. Just the parts alone for the inside. But they give a little mark right here that if I want to upgrade, it gives you a little bit of an upgrade. And if you don't like the upgrade, you can always go backwards. So, it gives you a little bit of back and forth. Now, if you want to build an alternate system, you can go over here. This is why it says add alternatives. So you go back to your CPU. Okay. This is all I was using it for, was to see my actual system and see what kind of my next big build system is going to be for, AMD. I decided I'm going to stick with AMD. So, do you see the point now? This is not hard to understand what I was using it. It's a PC build comparison. I wasn't worried about, and understand this, I wasn't worried about the benchmarking side of it, because this tells me right here, the virtual benchmarks. It says virtual, okay? And that's right here is within 1% of the testing for my PC. So it's within 1%. When I tested my PC compared to picking my parts right here on the website, it's within 1%. So this gives me a great idea. So at least I know that my system's making over 100% plus when it comes to gaming, which is true. I'm not going to deny that. The parts that I picked. In total reality, with the PSU and the PC case, the fans and all, brought it up to $1,300. There. Even on PC part picker, it still would come out to the same on the parts. So, but if I wanted to know what's going on over here, and if I want to build my next system, this can give me an idea of picking my parts that I want to see if they're going to work with each other or not. Because this will tell you, if you go back a little bit, this will tell you if it's going to work or not. So that's up to you to decide. But if I were to go back and, want to change the SSD baseline, and I want to go to the Crucial P2, Crucial P2 1 terabyte. See this little mark right here? This will give you, if you want to go upwards, this will tell you the next upgrade that you could go to. And I do agree with the upgrade. Okay, I do agree with the upgrade when it comes to that. Okay, I do agree with the upgrade, which I've already did the upgrade anyway to a Samsung 980 Pro. Two terabyte. Now you see that changed my system altogether when I put a 2 terabyte compared to that. So, but the price is correct. It's $169.99 on Amazon. So it is $170. So it is rounded up to the nearest dollar. So this is correct. The prices, except for that, because my original purchase price was $599, but now it's down to $542, which is correct, which I checked the other day. 5700X 3D, which I'm running the 5700X back a little bit. So I'm running the 5700X, not the 5700X 3D. So there. Now you can see my system's still balanced out. Still balanced out. But right here it tells me that I should go up in my processor. I can go to the 5800X 3D. If I want more performance, you know, I can go to the 5800X 3D and still use the same motherboard. So, but I'm going to be spending $300 and some just to do that. And also too, if I wanted to look at it, I could spend $300 and some and go to the 7800X 3D and go AM5. But why am I going to do that? I'm going to wait for the 9000 series, which they got AI support on the CPUs compared to the older CPUs in the AM5 generation, which you can say they're older now, even though that they might be a year old, but still, they're a year old. You go to that next generation, which is the 8000 series, but I'm waiting till the 9000 series because they said they got something better cooking. So that's the reason why I'm waiting there. But the whole purpose of this is not to use it for what you think. If you want to test your PC, you want to put yourself on that profile thing, that's up to you. You know, I'm not benchmarking my PC to see what kind of score I get on UserBenchmark either. So this little battle everybody's got going on, do me a favor. This is the only thing that I use it for. And, you know, truth and reality, this little battle everybody's got going on with each other. What's better at AMD? What's better with Intel and stuff like that? This is your battle, not mine. All I'm doing is telling you my experience and take you along with it. If you understand that, I'm only taking my experience and taking you along with me. Okay? I'm not here to battle with the people at UserBenchmark. I can care less what they do. They put the program out there for everybody to use. It's a freeware program that you can use. If you want to use it, that's up to you. I'm just telling you how I used it, and I just showed you. So now you see what's going on. If you have any questions, be more than happy to get into the chat and, you know, spoke it up for me. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't hold back. I'm not going to hold you back from, you know, using your comments. You know, say what's on your mind. Just as long as you keep the profanity out of it, that's all I ask. Just, be adult about it, and say what's on your mind. Yeah, I know, Machine, I know he wouldn't show up anyway, man. So the thing is this. When everybody talks a big game, and when you're confronted in this big game, and you can't come to, defend and back yourself up, hey, I left the chat wide open for everybody every week to come here, and when we have our live discussion, for you to come and say what's on your mind. When it comes to your parts for your PC, I leave that discussion open for you. And you don't even bring it. I do this, how many live streams have I done? And people don't bring what's on their mind. They want to run to everybody else's channel and say, blah, blah, blah. You think those other people are listening to you? No, they're not listening to you. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to what you have to say. That's the reason why I reply on all the messages you guys put on my videos and tell you what's on my mind. I reply to every one of you. Look, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad if you don't want to subscribe to the channel because you think that I don't know what I'm doing. I hate to tell you, I have more experience than you think. I have 30 plus years of doing this and testing and everything else. Most of my years, I did not post it on YouTube. All my testing was done privately as a hobby. I just brought it to YouTube because I've seen a lot of good and bad engagements and a lot of misinformation and everything that's been going around on YouTube. So I got tired of it. I started my channel to get the information correct. So he will make comments after the video is put out. So he does not have to engage in a conversation. Well, let's think about it, man. I let everybody engage in the conversation. You don't even have to pay to engage in the conversation. Look, it's absolutely free to come on my live stream, say what's on your mind, and ask questions. It can't get any better than that when you put free in front of somebody. I mean, I don't ask anybody for money. It'd be nice to have sponsors. I'm saying sponsors as companies sponsoring the channel, not the subscribers that I have. Not having them pay out of pocket. If you notice, you go to other channels, and here's a little bit of give me for y'all. You notice that you see that little donate thing that they put there instead of having that little arrow thing there that allows you to post your chat for free. And by the way, we're having earthquakes, by the way. So you've noticed that you got that little heart and with that little dollar sign that's there, and you go to these other big reviewers and their channels, they want you to pay to put your comment out there. Do I ask anybody to pay to put their comment here? No. I didn't ask anybody to pay. It's free. If people want to put like a super chat or something on a video, they can do so. If they want to put a super chat on, that's their decision. I'm not forcing anybody to do that. I don't have super chats, so, it doesn't really matter now, does it? But when it does happen, YouTube takes half the money anyway. So you're just paying YouTube most of the money. Well, I've had earthquakes right now. I had about 3 4.0 earthquakes hit so far. I'm just watching my little light flicker like this. So, but I want everybody to understand that for some reason you got people running around putting negative shit on my YouTube pages, but you don't see the real picture. That's the thing. You don't see the real picture. I have a Discord page that I invited everybody that wanted to come there to go there because I'm on there almost all the time. I invited everybody. I said, you want to be on my Discord page? All you got to do is let me know on a video and I'll send you a link. It's not hard. I've even invited people, if they want to show their face on the live stream, invited people to come out and, share their opinion on PC parts. I put that out there many of times. Nobody takes me up for it. I don't get it. So, you know what I think it is that if you want to write your opinion, but you don't want anybody to see you actually say it, then don't say it at all. Be honest with the people you're putting it out there to. If you're not gonna want to put it out there, then don't put it out there. If you think your opinion just relies on one little sentence that you put out there and everybody agrees with you, and I mean, like, you can't even put your face on like YouTube or something like that, then there's a real big problem. Because this basically, you're just writing your opinion when you don't have any facts. I'm giving you straight facts when I took everybody to UserBenchmark and showed you guys the reason why that I did it on this live stream today. And then, bash me because I did one recent video on UserBenchmark, which I had no idea. And I'm going to state this. I had no idea this guy was giving out bad reviews. I had no idea. But to sit there and say that about me, that, you don't trust my channel. Look, I don't keep up on every little piece of everybody's argument when it comes to the PC world. Everybody has their own beef. Everybody has their own beef when it comes to the PC world. Some people are not happy one time. New processor comes out. Boom. Oh, I'm not happy about it. This sucks and this and that. I've heard this same song and dance for so many years. It has not changed whatsoever. Not even the little bit has changed. Everybody has the same beef. They're not happy with the performance they're getting off of their PC because they do absolutely nothing to fix it but complain about it. What I did with my PC was I took a whole year picking out the parts, changing up parts, making it to where I got it to run like a gem, a diamond in the rough. I got it balanced between the GPU and the CPU to where, guess what? Come on. It's not hard. Everybody makes it look 10 times harder than it really is. People don't know how to go into the CPU motherboard's BIOS and set it up correctly. And they think that, oh, if I go in there, oh my God, I'm going to fall apart. It's not going to work. If you're that afraid of the computer BIOS, then what you need to do is buy one that you can't modify. That it has one speed. It's called turbo. No turbo off and turbo on. Okay, that's all the settings you have in there. You can get them by Intel. You can get them with AMD too. One speed and you're done. You don't have to deal with any of the other settings. If you're that afraid of your system, then don't touch it. Don't modify the BIOS because you don't know how to do it. Take it to a professional and have them set it up for you. Simple. I'm sorry, I'm just getting this off of my chest here and now because I see this happening over and over. Nobody talks about it. Nobody will say the real deal on their mind. Nobody will say it. Nobody will tell when it comes to the truth, nobody will say nada. You just go to the fact, well, this person said this, and you just feed off of that like a bottom feeder, just feeding off of this what one person says. Okay. I told you guys this before, and I'm going to tell you again, and over. I don't know how many videos I've told this, and I'm going to keep saying it. If the hardware or software is good, I'm going to tell you. If the hardware and software is bad, I'm going to tell you. So either way, I'm going to tell you. And I'm not going to lie to you. Nada. So if people wanted to have something to say, I do this every Saturday. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time. I do a live show every week, giving you all the incentive to come here to say what's on your mind. To not hide behind putting a text on a video, to come here to defend it, what you said, and the reason why you said it. But, from what, and I'm, this is what chokes me up all the time. This is the reason why I go like, because it never changes. It never does. One time I got a person saying to me, and I value all your opinions, regardless if I rant or not. But, it comes to the fact of, I got one person that says to me, well, how come I got a faster motherboard and a faster CPU, and I got the same graphics card as you, but you get better FPS than me? Well, you just answered your question. One, you didn't set up your motherboard BIOS correctly to balance it with your GPU. Two, you got probably a bunch of programs running in the background you didn't turn off, and stuff like that. You got to spend more than a day to balance your PC. You have to spend months. I have to start over again rebalancing my PC because of Windows 11. Now, being forced by Microsoft to go from Windows 10 to Windows 11. I don't know how the hell they did that, but it happened. I started up my PC, I'm on Windows 11. And there's nothing I did differently neither. And that's what shocked me. So, none of my settings were changed or anything else. When I got on Windows 11, guess what? My PC looked exactly the same as Windows 10. The only thing that changed was the start menu. I don't get it. Really, everything else is pretty much usable the same. So I don't get it. Okay, don't worry about this guy. As your channel gets bigger, you will get more. Yeah, I know, bro. I know. I do understand that. And, if somebody was getting, bashed because of something stupid, I would step up and say something about it. Okay? But from what I'm seeing is that everybody's not using common sense when it comes to leaving comments. That's what I'm saying. People are not watching enough videos to understand where this person's coming from, to see where their head is in this game. I have hundreds of videos for people to watch that cost absolutely nothing. I can't do nothing about the ads on the videos. That is YouTube. They put it into the bylaws, the user agreement, that regardless if I'm not monetized or am monetized, if I am or I'm not, they're still going to put ads on my videos regardless. This is in their updated bylaws. So if you subscribe or you don't, it's still not going to change them putting ads on my videos. It's still not going to change. So if you're thinking to not subscribe because you think that, the more subscribers I get, that, I'm going to have revenue ads on my videos and stuff, regardless, they're going to be there, even if I don't want them there. They've updated this and said you got no choice. So you're best off to just subscribe and be done. Thank you, bro. I do appreciate it, Machine. I know you will, and I know MTBK will, and I know the guys will, I understand that. But UserBenchmark, you are allowed to have your opinion, and you should not get the hate in the comments. But it's not so much that they're hating against me, they're hating against them. Even if they bring their comments here to tell me about that company or that website or whatever it is, they shouldn't have went that extra mile saying they're not going to, respect my channel just because of that one video. That's kind of ignorant, I think. That's where the ignorance comes in, to where, you're not totally comprehending what you're saying. Just because of your hatred, you let your hatred take you that far to hate somebody else just for one video. One. When I have had several others and nobody said nothing about UserBenchmark. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. One recent video I did on UserBenchmark, I had no idea that this was going on. See, this is the thing. I don't keep up with everything on the internet. I keep up with the current trends when it comes to hardware. I put things out there once in a while about software. Once in a while. Not all the time. I keep my trends on hardware. But when I see something that's like a decent tool, I use that tool in my videos. It's like when you go and use a prop to make a movie. Are you going to hate on that person that made that movie because of that prop? If you do, you're crazy. So basically, you're going to boycott the movie because of one prop in the movie you didn't like? And you tell everybody about the prop and they're like, oh yeah, you're right and this and that. It's called follow the leader. That's basically follow the leader of the negativity. That's what that is. Follow the leader of the negativity. Whoever's the most negative, we're going to follow. That kind of thing. Well, I hate to tell you, it doesn't work here. If you got something positive to say, I'm all ears. But when you come uncorrected about negativity, state your reason. Maybe there's something that you have there that it's worth listening to. Look, Everything I'm saying right now is live and recorded, so you can watch it back, and nothing's edited, nothing's uncut, nothing. It's the way it is. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say it again. You get the video as is, raw. So this is live. It's raw. You get it as is. I don't change anything. See, Machine, I'm like that, man. I'm down home. I'm down to earth. You know, I'm not going to sit here and rant all day because somebody says, well, you know, user benchmarks all this, and, you know, because Microsoft said this and this and that. You know what? Just because you had a bad experience doesn't mean we all had a bad experience. That's the thing. Not everybody has a bad experience. So you can't condemn the person that didn't have a bad experience. You should be praising the person that didn't have a bad experience. At least you know they're one of the good ones that got some kind of success out of the deal. Never praise failure. Always try to praise somebody's success. Success is what makes you better than the rest. Yeah, probably. But like I said, I leave the discussion open for everybody in this chat right here. Right here. For you to say what's on your mind. As long as you keep it clean and no profanity, I leave it open. I listen to your comments. I read them off right here as I'm going along through this live stream. I am not hiding a freaking thing. Nothing. You see me. This is it. There is only me here making this channel. Uh-oh, here comes the earthquake. Oh, shit. That was a biggie. You see everything just shaking like crazy. That's another earthquake that just hit. So it's still shaking. I can still see the light, the ring light do this. Holy Jesus Christ. Look, I said this, Machine. I said to everybody, leave your, you know, it's live. Say what's on your mind. You know, I love to have more people here. I love to have a couple hundred people here. I would love to have a couple million people here on the live stream. I really would. Say what's on your mind. I'll do the best I can to read everybody's comment and reply on everybody's comment, which I do anyway. You know, I don't have moderators here. I'm my own moderator. And if somebody gets out of hand, I just take and kick them off the channel. Simple as that. So, you know, like I said, I guess you don't have to dust your house. No. Yeah, basically the earth will do it for me. Yeah, don't have to dust whatsoever. Maybe once every couple months we'll get a good shake and all the dust will fall down and just got to vacuum though. That's pretty much it. So, but like I told you guys, I mean, I got 3 people watching right now, okay? 9 views. So obviously somebody's interested in something that's going on here. I'm interested in you all's comments. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm interested in. So, but I'm also too, I'm reading everything that they say on Discord, which I'm doing now. Looks like you got another street corner, great deal. Has working. Wow, that's really interesting that y'all are saying that though. Backroom deals, all these backroom deals. All these backroom deals. Didn't I just say that? I think I just said that. So. Let me double check and make sure sure twice everything's going and everybody can hear me. Machine, can you hear me there, man? Let me know. So I know I didn't lose connection because of the earthquake. Let me double check. It says excellent connection, so. Okay. Hopefully I clarified everything really quick to everybody when it comes to user benchmark. Cool. And I'm going to say this. Thanks, bro. Thanks for letting me know that. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell you all right down to the grassroots of everything right now and what's happening. The thing is this. When it comes to... Oh, and don't forget to hit the like button. Put some likes on that video. Okay. Now, when it comes to using different programs to benchmark your PC, the best way that I'm going to tell you that I found, the best way, is not by online apps or anything else. The best way to benchmark your PC is when you play your games. That's the best way to find out. When you set your display up and you set your processor to run smoothly and, and everything else, once you tune your system to the way you want, then when you play your game, every time it will run correctly for you. Will give you the right amount of FPS. How can you go wrong with that? If you want to be like a big time reviewer, and the thing is you want to take and go and benchmark like they do and everything else, they use more benchmarking tools than you think. The basic benchmarking tools that they use, they tell you about all the time on their channel. And I'm not the only one that's mentioned UserBenchmark on my channel, neither. There's many others that did that same thing. And used the tool just for the way I used it. I don't use UserBenchmark to see what my score is. I could care less what my score is. Where I get my best score is when I'm playing my game. That's where I get my best score. That's the score I look at. Is when I'm playing my game to see what kind of FPS I'm getting. If I'm getting between 60 to 200 FPS, that's all that matters. That's an average that you can get from your system, between 60 and 200. If the 1% lows stay above 60, then you're doing even better, because there's less stuttering, and I don't get game stuttering. Like I said, I don't get game stuttering. Yeah, I do agree with you, man, but the thing is this. If, when it comes to understanding, building your system from scratch and everything else, there's a little bit more to the factor of building it from scratch. You have to do your research when it comes to the PC parts you want to use. Now, you can build what they call a baseline, which I did with my system. I built what they call a baseline. I took a B450 motherboard, that's my baseline, and I used a Ryzen 5 5600G with no discrete graphics card. Built a baseline, tested it, and got me my individual little testings. This gave me enough time to go into the BIOS in order to tweak it and everything else to make that CPU run correctly. To tweak the integrated graphics to make it run correctly. Now, after that, you turn around, you say, okay, well, now I'm going to go get me a discrete graphics card. Now, I went on the market and I looked for a discrete graphics card. Which one am I going to buy? I said to myself, well, I see one that stood out amongst all others. Was the RTX 4070. Before the 7800 XT, okay, before the 4070 Super and all them. I bought that before all that came out. The only competitor at that time was the 6800 XT. That's the only competitor to that card. Or they wanted to compare it to the 6950 XT, which was running $50 more than the RTX 4070, but that was last gen. That was last generation. And then the software started to change and put more in the favor to the 4070. So, like I said, the software is going to matter more when it comes to making your card the king. Now, I know it sucks, but when you got the 30 series running on RDNA 2 and you got the 40 series running on RDNA 3, and now you're going to have the 50 series running on RDNA 4, what do you think? The architecture of the software is changing. So you get better advantages than from RDNA 2 to did I say I mean DLSS. My bad. I cannot believe I just said that. DLSS 2 to DLSS 3. Big difference. Because on the 40 series, then you can move up to DLSS 3.5. And then going up to the 50 series, I hope they got DLSS 4 out. Or DLSS 5. Who knows? But the architecture is changing. They're moving now. If you're watching, NVIDIA's moving more towards AI, artificial intelligence. So that means their graphics cards are moving more towards AI tops. Now, if you want to know what AI tops are, then look it up. Because on Microsoft Windows 12, that could be coming in the future, could be based upon AI tops on your CPU and your GPU processor in order for you to get Windows 12. I've heard talk about this, and it's been a lot of chatter about it. So, in order to get Windows 12, it looks like they might be changing everything to total AI. In order to be able to get the AI program, which I know Microsoft, they'll probably go from, what is it, Microsoft Edge to AI Explorer. I'm hearing a lot going on about AI Explorer. That you only can get it if you get the Snapdragon processor. So, looks like AMD and Intel need to pick up their game when it comes to the CPUs. And as far as the GPUs, it looks like NVIDIA is going to be bringing their game. So who knows what's going to happen with AMD, because I hear talks of them canceling the 8000 series discrete graphics cards and stuff like that. You know, that's been leaking out everywhere. And I'm hearing the fact that AMD is going to be more focused on the APU section than they are the discrete graphics cards. It's what I'm hearing. Okay, am I lying about it? No. Go look it up. People are talking about it. So, there's many things that are cooking. So, you know, when it comes to benchmarking your PC, set yourself up for success. No matter what parts you get, you can still set yourself up for success. Yep, I agree. We will see soon enough. I mean, for sure. You know. But like I told everybody, I mean, there's many things that are cooking right now. Look at the next event that's coming up. What is it? I forgot what the event is. Jeez. See, my mind's wrapped up into so many things right now. It's hard to keep track of everything now these days. I can't remember the new event that's coming out. See how this is how much everybody doing their thing on UserBenchmark and everything and saying it's a bad program and this and that. You know what? If you got a problem with it, I understand and I respect that. Just let me know what your problem is and I'll have a gander and look it on mine and see if I have that same problem. It's good to share information. I understand that. That's the reason why I said use discretion, keep the profanity off of your comments, and I got no problem with you commenting on my videos. Computex, yeah, thank you. This is what they're saying on Computex for NVIDIA. There's talk going back and forth between the 5080 and the 5090. Which one's going to come out first? We don't know. There's also two rumors that are going on about AMD going to present the 9000 series processors at Computex. But there's rumors that they're going to hold off and they're going to bring something for the 8000 series. There's rumors. Going back and forth, back and forth. Nobody knows. I keep my ear to the ground and, you know, I wait to see what's going to happen. I really do. Because if I were to take and go to Computex myself, then I would tell you guys I would do it live. I was thinking about that machine. I really was. But I'm iffy with that right now. Because for the simple fact, what if they, you know, you get these leaks and everything else and they say they're going to bring this and then you go to do the, you know, live stream for Computex, then they'd bring that. Absolutely nothing. Then it's like you got your subscribers and the viewers looking at you saying, well, man, you told me they're going to bring this, but they brought that. Or you get the factor of another thing that I've been hearing that's been going around on YouTube. That if you go to re-record or live stream somebody else's live stream, they have a right to complain about it. So that's kind of what's going on too. But I'm just saying, this is what I hear. YouTube's going to do a crackdown on rebroadcasting a live stream. So unless you have a broadcaster's license, which I don't, then I would be legal to rebroadcast a live stream if I was live, had a live broadcaster's license, but I don't. So, but any pre-recorded, they have a right to cut you off from the pre-recorded. Let's say they cancel the video. They do a live video and they pre-record it and they put it out there for you. And then they decided to automatically cancel that video. They have a right to take your video off of your channel because of that. So, I mean, it's a screwball world. It's a really big screwball world. I'd love to put videos out there for you guys to watch from years to come. I really would. But with all these new rules and restrictions and everything else, I have to really watch because I don't want to get my channel banned over, one little stupid thing. Well, you understand what I mean, right? I mean, I try to keep it clean, and I try to keep it where it's none of my videos are copyrighted or anything else. I try to keep it all nice and clean. All my videos are legit. So I'll see what I'll do. I'll do a little bit more digging on doing the review for Computex. Okay, well, look it up. But this is just the things that I've been hearing lately. Especially when it comes to rebroadcasting a live broadcast. It's basically like if you're doing a paid per view and you have to have a license to do that paid per view. But if you do it at the privacy of your own home, then you can broadcast it to your friends. But not on the internet. But the thing is when they do these, like NVIDIA or AMD or something, they do these live videos. And this is the butt kicker of it all. If you are not a part of their sponsorship programs, they have the right to cancel you off of the your video. They have a right to cancel your video if you use all their video information. They have that right. So they can all they got to do is complain to YouTube and say, look, we did not authorize this channel to put our video out there as a broadcast. So we would like that video taken off of their channel. YouTube analyzes the information. And if it's concurrent with their original video information, yeah, YouTube can request you to take it off. And they could end up right striking you for that. That's a 50-50 chance. Look, look what happened to, what was it, UFD deal, the channel UFD or something like that. Nintendo went after them for them doing a video about Nintendo. Good example. So, just, you have to keep that in mind. There's much more, and understand this, there is much more when it comes to being a content creator for YouTube. There's a lot more to the game. Not a lot of people understand. There's some people that don't have a YouTube channel, and they turn around and they troll like crazy over other people's channels, giving them negative reviews and everything else, because guess what? Only thing they got better to do in life is be negative. They have no positive goals in life. They don't even make their own content, but they complain about everybody else's because they're not happy with the way it looks. Well, you know what? I make my content the way I make my content. If you want to watch it, that's up to you. If you don't want to watch it, that's up to you. That's why they call freedom of choice. You have a freedom of choice. You can choose to watch whatever you want to watch. I'm never going to force you to watch my videos, but it is nice when you do watch my videos and you do subscribe, because it helps out me to grow this channel. Like every one of the big time reviewers, they got to start somewhere. And I put my foot down almost 2 years back to start my channel. I could have started it way back then, let's say in 2010, but I didn't start my YouTube channel then. But I was going to start it in 2013. I made 1 or 2 videos in 2013 with a friend. But the channel sat from 2013 to 2024. So what I did is I reinvested my time, fixed the channel up, and put it back on the market. So it's a channel from 2013 to now. My friend gave it to me and said, here you go. Do what you will. So I did. And I put the channel back on the market. So I have 3 channels. I have one for my computer, home computer. I have one for my mobile channel, which is my mobile channel. And I have one for just gaming, which I know I got to update it and I got to put some more new stuff on there. So be patient with me. I am working towards it. Discord. Okay, well, we'll go look at Discord, man. Not a biggie. We go look at Discord. Okay, let's see. This is FSR 3.1 beta. You can use DLSS, XG, FSR free frame rate. Well, that's nothing new when it comes to AMD. AMD is allowing you to use all the programs. But guess what? So is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is now starting to allow you to use AMD's stuff and Intel Arc stuff. You know, as far as when you're in your display settings for your games, they allow you to start using the other competitor stuff. So it's nothing that's any news. That's been out there for a while. So, well, yeah. I'm reading that now. I had to move my face out of the way. Hmm. Well, we'll see, man. I have to look at the time of day that it is and see if I'm free on that day. I'll be honest with you there. I have to see if I'm free on that day for that time to see if I'm able to do a live stream. So I'll look into it and I'll let you know either tonight or tomorrow. You know, if there is going to be a live stream, I'll make sure I post it ahead of time. So this way everybody knows to be there. So, more earthquakes. Oh my God. You could feel the house do this and shift. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll have to look at the date and time that Computex is going to be rolling at and see if I'm free that time and go from there. So that's the best way I can say it right now there, brother. That's the best way I can say it. So if I can, I will let you know. So, is there any other questions or concerns that anybody might have? Because I'm watching the chat right now to see if anybody's got anything that they want to bring up, mention, anything else about UserBenchmark, because I'm laying this to rest. Okay. How does your dog react to this earthquake? Well, you know, she stays under her covers, man. She just stays under her covers. She doesn't really move. Only time is if somebody knocks at the door, then she'll bark like crazy. But any other time, she'll just be under her cover, taking a nap. She sleeps 24 hours a day, so I don't know. You know. Only time she moves is she's got to take a piss, or she's got to, take a dump, or, get some water, or hungry, or, the normal things. But all in all, it is what it is. Yeah, some dogs do. They do react to it because I guess it's something in their ears that causes a friction. I don't know. That's what I hear. So. But since we all hear that, now a little bit of something about Intel. A lot of people are waiting for Intel. Hello, LP Real Life. I do apologize. I'm going to have to get a translator for that. I don't have a translator on hand. So, let me see if I can get one. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, be smart, choose blue. Please say it. Be smart, choose blue. Is that what you're saying to me? Be smart and choose blue? Machine, think about it. AMD is what? Red. Intel is blue. Nvidia is green. I got it. I got what you're saying. 100%. Oh, I got you. Well, welcome to my channel. We're just having a live video discussion over UserBenchmark. And about the last video that I made, what it was about, and you know, so on and so forth. If you got any comments you want to leave about that, just spoke it up. If you got something to say that you want to share with everybody here on YouTube, then go ahead. As long as you keep it clean and keep the profanity out of it, I don't mind. So I like to keep it clean because of the kids. Simple. And it looks like my stream's going wacky. Y'all still see my stream, right? Hopefully. Just sarcasm, really? Ain't that bad, bro. It's not that bad. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just watching the numbers go kind of wacky. It's probably because of the earthquakes and stuff that it's kind of knocking the internet kind of wacky a little bit. So, all in all, treetop tall. But like I said, if you guys are going to want to, let's say you already got a good enough computer, you're going to get by until the next big thing. I wait to see if the next big thing comes, and then, then I make my decision if I'm going to purchase it or not. But so far from what I'm seeing on performance and everything else, the only thing that I found that runs the best right now is the RTX 4070. It's just as good as the one right here. 7800 XT. Both of these are good. This is a power color. Hellhound 7800 XT. This is Asus Dual OC 4070. One's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, one's got 12 gigabytes of RAM. Okay? Got them both. One's being tested by a friend, which that's been given to them. But anyway, they test it every day and they tell me every day what's going on with it. And this right here, the 7800 XT is actually being ran with a 5600 X3D. So, it is what it is. I don't know about UserBenchmark. Says my RX 6800 is a bad GPU. I need to get an NVIDIA, I guess. Oh man, I'll tell you what, 6800 is just fine. 6800 XT is just fine. 6750 XT is just fine. And so on, 6950 XT is just fine. You know, and so on and so forth. If you're playing games, standard games, that where they all run the same and all the games you play great on that graphics card that you have, what does it matter what anybody says about any benchmarking at that point? Just run it and be happy with it. Just run it and be happy with it. Simple said and put. Did you notice something? Did you notice right here? Did you notice right here? Right here, I took out that little background thingy. Do you notice that? Do you know why I took out that background thingy? This is what I found out. I ran that background thingy. It ran my processor up to 63C. It was running my processor hot. That one little thingy right here that I used for a background image, it was running my processor up to 63C. It was running OBS to 100%. One little thing. And now when I made that change, now I'm back down to 43C. So I'm running about 43C with OBS on. And with it off, I'm running at 35. So big difference. I was thinking I did something wrong. I had to find out why OBS was running the way it was. I thought it was something in the BIOS that I did wrong, which it wasn't. Still the same settings, as if I was on Windows 10 to Windows 11, same settings. Difference is, for some reason now, when I run background stuff to OBS, it runs hotter. Regardless if I'm undervolted. Regardless if I'm undervolted in the BIOS. So. Look, okay, I'm going to explain this about the power connector, man. That 12 volt high power connector is bad news. Okay, that's what's creating all the issue, because people were looking at it as being a savior to the 8-pin connector. It's not. Inside that connector, they have all the hot power running on one bus bar. Bus bar means that it's a flat plate of metal for the hot and flat plate metal for the ground. It means all the wiring for the ground connects to one plate. That means all the wiring for the hot section connects to one plate, 2 connectors. So that means they're running the pins off of that bus bar, which is getting equal amount of power to every one of the pins. No, I'm just explaining this because this is where everybody gets it wrong. One of the pins from your graphics card is pulling way too much power, causing that one pin to burn. They need to rebalance the power on the GPU through all the pins. So that way it pulls equal amount of power through all the pins. It's pulling too much power through one pin, causing it to turn in like a fuse. If you take and you pull too much power from a fuse, like a car fuse, what happens? It burns in the center. Exact same principle that's happening with these 12 volt high power connectors. Same principle. So I guess you don't like it very much. It's hard to tell. No. I just gave you the answer to the equation when it comes to why the connector's burning up. It's not the matter if I like it or not. I don't use the goddamn connector, truthfully. I don't use the connector, so I don't know. I have one, believe it or not. I have one of those connectors. And I could put, I could take and put one lead on the ground and put it on something that'll pulse, the same amount of watts as your 4090 and show you exactly how that burns up. One pin. And show you how it exactly melts in front of you. That's not hard. I know, man. It's okay. It's all good. But like I said, if I'm gonna take and I'm gonna get one of those one of those amp meters. I got an amp meter, but I'm talking about an amp meter that has variable voltage testing that they use for your car battery. And I'm going to put a load on each one of those pins. And I'm going to see what the max load is to the pins. And then, after that, whoever can test what the max load on each one of those pins are, and test the max load coming from the GPU and on each pin. The max amperage that's being pulled on each pin. So this is something they did not check. They did not check the max amperage on every one of those pins. They just assumed the whole connector melted. So, but anyway, let's see, 11, 12, and 1. 2 hours we've been going at this. Does anybody have any other questions or concerns? And yes, I did not cover EK water blocks. I'm not going to do it. So I'll just leave it as that. I'm not going to become the kind of channel that thinks I'm going to shill everybody out. It's not going to happen that way. So when it comes to hardware, we'll tell you what's going on with it, if we get our hands on it or we don't get our hands on it. We'll still give you an opinion. But when it comes to like software and, people having issues with the software, then I understand that too. You can leave your comments on that too as well. Like, I've done many different videos on software. So when it comes to that, it is what it is. Now, when it comes to these online sites, them saying that they can do, correct testing and everything else, I have yet to see, and I'm going to be down to earth with you guys, I have yet to see any online site do a correct assessment of my PC. I have yet to see it. Now, when it comes to testing the temperatures and the speeds and everything else of my components inside of my PC, I'll use like HW info, I'll use GPU Z, I'll use CPU Z, I'll use Heaven Benchmark, Superposition, Prime 95, I'll use Geek Benchmark, and stuff like that, on and on and on. I don't base my total evaluation when I build a PC on one program. Even if I did a synthetic benchmark, like, the ones that they do on Steam, I'll do it once in a while as well. But you can't have synthetic benchmarks if the program's running on your PC. That's not synthetic. Synthetic is when you run it remotely from a different site. That makes it a synthetic. I do realize and understand that. But when you run it off your PC and you run the software off of your PC, that's not synthetic. So basically, I am sticking to the software that's installed on my PC, but does not remote to another server site in order for it to run. I'm going to stick away from those, and I'm going to stay to the grassroots ones that basically run off of your PC and give you as close to accurate as possible. So, UserBenchmark was just used for me and the purpose of showing everybody that you can use it for more than benchmarking. You can use it as a tool for, looking at what kind of components you got in your PC compared to the alternative of what you can upgrade to and still keep the same graphics card. Gives you an average. Doesn't give you an actual. Gives you an average. Don't expect it to give you clarity on the numbers. Don't matter if it's Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, or whatever. Because those are your three. Those are your three. Your three basic ones. Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. Even though that you got Asus, you got MSI, you got Gigabyte, you got ASRock, and you got different various companies, partner companies that build for Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. So, you have to keep in consideration from the first start to the end, where it starts and comes to the end. I wanted to make sure that's clarified, because understand this. This might be an NVIDIA card, but it was created by Asus because of the PCB and their design, not NVIDIA. Just like with PowerColor, AMD. AMD sold PowerColor the GPU, the GPU die, the processor. Now it was up to PowerColor to make the PCB for that and make it in their own design with their own power and everything else. So guess what? It's PowerColor's product just as well as AMD. You have to look at point A from the beginning to the end. Don't judge everything just because it says AMD. Don't judge everything because it just says NVIDIA. Don't judge everything just because it says Intel. There's much more to it. Unless any one of those three make it from their line and sell it to you from their line, their website, like NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel, they sell it from their actual website to you, then you can say you have an original. You have a Founders Edition with those. But when it comes to AIB partners, they build the PCB, they put all the restraints and whatever they put on them, and they sell it to you. That's coming from their company. Even though that it's NVIDIA's processor, it's Asus that's putting it to you. Or Power Color that's putting it to you. So you got to learn to separate the two. You have to learn what's made by AMD, Intel, and NVIDIA. You buy from their website to get their original product. Now, these AIB partner cards, they make it into their own line. You have to understand that. So, I like the AIB partner cards. And don't get me wrong, Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA, I just like the AIB partner cards better. They give a hell of a lot of performance, and they give least amount of crap. They run great with less crap. Just to be honest with you. That means there's no hell-bent restrictions or anything else. It means they set it to your specifications, and they set their little specifications in there too. Both of these cards, overclocking cards, yes. Except for, yeah, this one is too. This is and this is. Both of these cards are overclockable. But I don't overclock them. Don't need to. So that's just the end of it. So if you have any more questions, concerns, or comments about UserBenchmark, right here is where we're going to squash this and move on. Everybody had their chance to get into the live video here. It's been posted for 24 hours. And I'm sure everybody could have got in when they had to. So, today we're laying it to rest and we're moving on to bigger and better things. Now, if you decide you don't want to stay, that's up to you. But if you decide you want to become a subscriber, that's up to you. I really hope you do, because it's more fun to have more subscribers and for a lot more talking points when it comes to these new products that come out. Better to have more than one voice when new products come out, is so you get a better idea on what these products are going to become for the future. If you want to stick around, subscribe for that. And remember, don't forget to put a like on the video. And also, too, don't forget to hit your notifications on. So that way you'll see when I post the next video. I'm going to get up out of here. It's been fun and enjoyed and everything else. So you all have a great day, a great evening, and we will see you on the next video. Don't forget, live next week. Don't forget, live next week. Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, California time, right here on JJ's PC Builds.